I think a lot of people, after looking at the footage we posted up on Klein Alley Show, said, man, I was going to go. Should have gone. Didn't go. I will say this. I don't think I've ever seen Limp Bizkit perform live before, minus Fred hopped up and did a KROQ weenie roast a few years back. Outside of that, I'd never seen a show like of their true diehard fans. And it was an intense experience.
Oh, yes.
And I was...
The people watching is epic at a Limp Bizkit
Maybe the best.
show.
Maybe the best. Very different than if you're enjoying, the eye candy at a Coachella, let's say. Very different sort of crowd. Mm-hmm. But, boy, that was entertaining. Probably shouldn't have taken mushrooms. I regret that decision.
Oh, I do not regret that decision. Am I the only one who didn't regret that? That was the best choice I made.
Jake took...
Did you guys all take the same?
Yeah.
kind of mushrooms?
No, we didn't.
I thought we did.
No, you took capsules. I took chocolates.
So, it's the same dose.
Well, I don't know what I was taking. I was just eating popping squares. I don't even know. All I know is you'd see...
I had a great time. At one point, Johnny was like, wow, your eyes are so dilated.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I was like, hi, Johnny.
Yeah, I went from having like a great moment, and then all of a sudden I would see a person that would have like blood dripping out of their eyeballs, and I'd be like, oh my God, that person, are they okay? And I thought I was tripping, and then it was like actually it was like a tattoo of blood dripping out of their eyeballs all over their face.
Oh, got it.
And they were like, this is how I'm supposed to look.
There was one girl who had pre-planned giant thong tan lines
that was cool.
on her body.
Get behind
she
that.
had like low-rise jean shorts and purposely big thong tan lines. It was great to see what everybody showed up
Some of
in.
our favorite fashions we've posted up at the Klein Alley Show Instagram for you to enjoy as well. It was
The
definitely...
man in the straw hat and the overalls.
In case you thought we were at the Met Gala, we were actually at Loserville for some Limp Bizkit. But one of my favorite fashion looks I saw, I've never seen this before, and this was a woman fan, but she cut the pockets out of the back of a pair of jeans, and she just glued the pockets to her bare ass. And wore that around. That was a look. I mean, you got to have the level of confidence you have to pull that off.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
I
Incredible.
also took a photo with, I think it was like 6 or 7 other guys that were also in the same thing I was wearing.
Allie was the most popular outfit of the day, which was burly-shouldered, white T-shirt, backwards red hat. That was
Klein
the
was
big
like,
look.
I kept looking for Allie, and she looked like a sea of everybody
That was
else.
the problem, is that when I get lost, I get separated, and I was kind of tripping a little bit, but then I'd be like, I just got to find the red hat, and I'd find Allie, and then outside I'd be like, 10,000 red hats.
There's some guy who's like, what's up?
Yeah, I was like, all right, you'll go. You'll pass for Allie. So it all started with us on a bus right here, leaving KROQ, going to Loserville, a bunch of listeners and winners on the bus, and that was a great time. Everyone was on the bus. Thank you for making that experience fun. But we did notice that Jake was doing a lot of drinking on the bus, and we were concerned because Jake was going to be the representative of KROQ to rap for Fred Durst backstage and determine whether or not he would have what it takes to go up there. And that was a overwhelming, even if you thought, oh, I could do this, no problem. When you saw that crowd, the sea of people, I don't know if there was 45,000 people there, 60,000 people there. It was shoulder to shoulder as far as the eye could see.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
It looked massive.
I know. He was like, you guys ready to party like it's 1999, because of the whole Woodstock thing? And it really did look.
It looked like we were at the break, getting a Woodstock 99 thing.
It really was on that level.
The first conversation happened on the bus when we were talking to Jake about his drinking and if he thought that would affect his potential routine later.
Because he was pounding them pretty
This is what
quick.
he said. How many beers is this?
This is number 4.
Minus the one you had this for breakfast.
Minus the one I had for breakfast. This would be like 5. That was like hours before I even started drinking for real. So
You're supposed to go on stage. It's 4 o'clock.
alcoholic. 4 o'clock. So
that's Johnny in the back. So Jake,
it's party bus, dude.
Johnny was just high on Popeye's biscuits.
Yeah.
I was like 7 beers deep. I thought this man was gonna die.
Well, he had he's had 5 beers to this point, which not a lot if it's a night out, but if you have a performance of your lifetime up ahead, maybe you want to be a little bit
and this was like
What
an
kind
hour.
of beers?
He was all over the place.
There was a bunch of different ones. There was Michelada ones. There was Modelo's. There was, there was Miller.
Yeah, it was a real trail mix cooler put together here. So,
what time do you think this thing will happen?
I think we have another 5 hours.
Another 10 beers and we're good.
So Jake's plan was to drink 15 beers and then perform the song, which I think is a strong plan. 'Cause I think he was nervous a little bit. He said his stomach was bothering him.
But he was
How
also
many more beers?
in this stupor kind of at one point on the bus ride where he was just kind of sitting there with the dog and then would just blurt out parts of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like he was going over
He was going over the
it.
lyrics. Yeah,
He'd
but-
be like, make an announcement.
So,
What, 10, right?
you think he'll be fine on stage?
I'm sure I'll be good.
All right, there you go. I'm sure I'll be good. Those will be the words of death. So we get there. There were some issues getting the bus, such a big bus, but we ended up getting...
Ever do a big ass U-turn on a bus?
Yeah, it
That
was-
is a That was
the most Loserville part of the trip was when the bus had to make a U-turn because we missed the turnoff to park. But regardless, we get in, and that happened to be the one moment I used the bathroom on the bus. So right as I decided to finally pee on the bus, which I had been holding for the entire drive, the thing goes over 4 speed bumps and makes a U-turn, and I ended up basically peeing all over myself.
I have some audio of that if you want to hear it.
I would like to. I picked the wrong time to try to. Every speed bump in there was like.
Oh yeah.
It was splashing up. Everything. Terrible.
But Allie's just laughing at you.
Yeah, I left the bathroom. Everyone had a good laugh. So we.
That was after the long monologue about how you had to pee.
Yeah, well, I was holding that in for a long time because we.
I want to hear that too because he went on forever.
No, I don't.
Oh my God! Here, yeah, we have time. Here, let's take a listen.
I'm holding it since we had an hour to go. So I was like, an hour ago. Now it's been dicey. And you know me, I can go 4 hours during the radio show.
You are very good at
holding all day, all night. I'm training for this, but I usually had 4 drinks on the bus.
all night. You want some water? Water helps.
No, I made in that bottle. All right, very funny.
And then there's Jake in the background going, all day, all night.
Jake's practicing.
That's from a movie.
So we get there. We finally get up, and we're so.
You guys sound like a mess already. By the way,
so
Klein had like a few drinks
I
too.
was drinking too.
Man,
we finally get to there, and immediately we have to go backstage because this is when Fred wants to meet Jake and the 2 finalists, Cher and Michelle.
And one by one, each person had to go in there and audition for Fred Durst and his groupies or whoever was in there with him.
And it's we are backstage, and you think that's cool, but really backstage is just basically cases of water stacked up on a wall, and
a lot of guys with earpieces.
Right, a lot of people with clipboards and earpieces running around looking frantic. So it's got a frantic sort of energy, and they go, all right, who's first to come in here and rap just for Fred? And you're going into Fred's personal dressing room, and it's really Fred, and Jake's like, all right, I'll do it. And Jake goes in there. And about 25 seconds later, he comes out of there. And we say to Jake, how did that go? And he goes,
I messed it up.
I messed it up.
are you serious?
Yes.
And we go, like, how?
Wait, did he mess his pants or he messed up the song?
That's actually a good question.
We don't know. We didn't ask for follow-up. We go, how bad? And then he goes, well, you know what? It was actually okay.
He said he got halfway through the first verse.
Yeah, halfway through.
I did the second verse. I did the harder verse for some reason.
You did the harder verse first?
Yeah, like he said, start from wherever you want, and I go okay, and so I started doing the second verse, which I think is harder.
So they sent Jake out
halfway through, and then I messed up.
They sent Jake out pretty quick, but
and then we said, what is it like in there? And he said, well, Fred's in there, and then there's a few other guys on the couch laughing at you.
He said, all right, Nick, I got your flow. I'm like, all right.
They called him Jake Nick.
I'm like, Jake? He's like, okay.
So funny. So then
they said, all right, Nick, we got your flow. And that's literally what he said. He goes, that's Fred. He's listening to you and telling, and he got a bunch of guys on the couch laughing at you. So I asked one of the other women who went, did you have people on the couch laughing at you? And they go, no, I didn't have people laughing at us.
She said, I got a hug from
I got
Fred.
a hug. So the next up, we sent in
it was Cher.
Our old lady, Cher. 60s, old. And
I'm sure she wants to be remembered as that.
Hey, Cher, hold on, she's on the phone now. Cher, when you were going into Fred's dressing room, I mean, you were feeling, I was nervous, right? When you walked in there, your nerves had to have been coursing through your old veins, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Coursing through my very, very old, tired veins.
Right. Thank you.
That we're barely making it through.
But you, listen,
I needed a cane to walk in.
Right, but you had a gimmick from the beginning with us. You said, I'm an old white lady, and I want to be the person to go on stage and rap with Limp Bizkit. And
it's not a gimmick, Klein. That's who I am.
Yeah, this whole gimmick of being an old lady.
I understand, but you leaned into it. You led with it. I'm just saying. And you go in there, and it was a nerve-wracking.
She was in there for a long time.
But you were in there for a while, and Allie and I were turning to each other like, she's been in there a lot longer than Jake. She must be having sex with Fred Durst right now. We didn't know. And you come out, and you had a smile on your face. We said, how'd it go? You thought it went well. We didn't know. He wasn't telling us anything. And then we sent Michelle in there. And Michelle
was also in for a long time.
Red hat. And she was in there for a while, too. Michelle, you were, I think, the most nervous of the three, right?
I was so nervous to go in there, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you kept saying you were having dry mouth, you needed water, you were picking up water bottoms off the ground and drinking them.
Mm-hmm. I I asked someone for water, and they stared at me like they didn't know what water was. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll just go. Great.
Well, but then you went back there as well, and you're in there, and it hits you. You're standing in Fred Durst's dressing room. You're about to rap for the guy, his own song to him, and there's people on the couch. Did anyone laugh at you the way they laughed at Jake?
No.
Okay.
No laugh.
No laugh.
So then she finishes up, and then they say, okay, who are the two KROQ reps?
Who are the representatives from KROQ? We need to have a meeting. And that's when Allie and I are like, I think that means us, but we didn't know. So we walk in there, and it's Fred. He's like, look, I got to lay it straight to you guys. He's like, here's the first thing. The guy with the dog, he's out.
He said the first guy with the dog, he was the worst.
Yeah.
He said, tell him the dog trick didn't work.
Yeah.
That chick is who I am.
He goes, tell him the dog trick didn't work. And then we go, what do you mean the worst? He's like, well, look, he didn't know the words. He got it all wrong. And he was not on beat and couldn't rap. Like, it was all the possible things. Like, he just basically said Jake was the pits. Awful. He's like, did this guy even practice at all? We're like, yeah, but he was drinking a lot today.
He was like, did he really know it? Like, did he perform it for you guys and he knew it?
So,
we're like, well.
So he's like, he's out. And then he's like, I'm torn. He's like, I liked both of the women you brought for different reasons.
He said
like,
he's all about girl power.
Yeah, he's like, I'm all about girl power. And he's like, I have had most of the same types of rappers. You know, if you've had like an amateur rapper join him in a different city, it was not this.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like going back and forth. He's like, I liked Cher. She had a different energy to it, kind of a sing-songy thing. But she seemed nervous, and I feel like on stage that's going to be magnified by 1,000 times. And he's like, Michelle, full embodiment, Limp Bizkit
He's like,
fan,
love the
hardcore
backwards
fan,
red hat.
love the whole
He
vibe.
really put a lot of thought
Put a
into
lot of
it.
thought. I
I
couldn't
thought
believe-
he was just going to be like, you,
and we said,
move on.
And we said to Fred, we're like, this is the same problem we had at the radio station. We said the votes were torn. We couldn't pick between the two of them.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know
He
what?
was kind of asking us for advice on who to pick.
I know. And I was like, I don't know, dude. We can't. And he goes, F it. You know what I'm going to do? Let's bring them both out. So both of them got to go on stage. The videos have been posted. And I want to say, Cher, for the first time, and to Michelle, because we kind of lost track of you after you went up there. You guys crushed it. And you made us very proud. And the amount of listeners who were out there that were like so thrilled to see you both on stage doing the Turn It Up bitch with Fred. I hope you had as much fun as we did. And we couldn't have not been happier that you guys won this thing.
I had the greatest time of my life.
It was so much fun. It was awesome. I stuck around to the end and got to say, like, thank you to him. Thanks for having me. He's like, yeah, did you have fun out there? So it was just amazing. Thank you guys so much for having us.
It was cool to see too, like because he was like, Cher, tell me a little about yourself, and she was like, I'm 60, and the whole crowd was like,
Yeah,
like they loved it.
Yeah,
they loved your
no.
gimmick, Cher.
That was a good gimmick.
Thank you.
Great gimmick. Stick with that gimmick. It's working for you.
Working on that one.
And did you get the respect of your children, Michelle? I know that was the goal here.
Well, I texted them the video that same night, and nobody responded. So.
That means they're impressed.
All right. Well, the videos have gone up on our socials, and thank you for being a part of it. For everyone who participated in this. I mean, there's so many other side things, but the one thing that we know for sure is the guy with the dog is out. That's what we know. Fred said
His
that
name's
was
Nick.
Nick. He said, get that Nick out of
Good
here.
job, Nick.
We got to take a break. We're way behind, but thank you, everyone, and thank you once again. Congratulations again. Cher, Michelle, crushed it, brought us a lot of pride at the station, and that video is worth a check out, which is going up now again on Klein and Alley Show on the socials. All right, back in a sec.
Over here, and you stand on this side, and let's rock this motherfucker and see what happens. Are you ready? studio, fucking up the studio. Take the microphone and put your ass on blast. Pump all the cash, I'll be the first and last. Be the new metal from the trash. Hell yeah, everybody needs some hardcore fucked up, make it head shit. Everybody needs some hardcore fucked up, make it head shit. Everybody needs some hardcore fucked up, make it head shit. Everybody needs some hardcore fucked up, make it head shit. Oh shit, how'd
I know you're thinking, man, those two look funny.
And we agree, and so do our parents.
So we need to get some plastic surgery, and the only way we can afford that is if you listen to our full radio show every day live on KROQ or download the podcast.
Yeah, which is all free, so I don't really know how we're making money on that, because
We're
we
not.
get paid terribly.
Yeah, it's a really bad situation, which is why she's got on no makeup, and I'm wearing a shirt that I found in Lost and Found.
I am wearing makeup.
You are?
Yes.